21 of restoration, and we continue to make progress in Grand Bahama. I'll start with the most important statistic of all. Even with multiple crews from different companies, working long hours under difficult conditions, many performing live line work, we have had no injuries. This is our goal, to work injury-free. Our local crews and some of our contractors, who have also been working long hours, have started to take rotating rest days so that, again, we can continue to work safely. In terms of progress on our system, as of late yesterday, we have safely restored about 8,900 customers, representing approximately 46% of our customer base. We have set over 1,000 poles. We have had some comments from customers about our rapid progress on pole replacement compared to our restoration of customers. So I wanted to share a bit of insight for you. We have teams with special trucks, digger derricks, cranes, etc., who are focusing just on transmission pole setting, and they've made good progress. But setting the pole does not mean a customer gets energized. The distribution poles, along with the lines and all the equipment and attachments on the poles, still need to be repaired in order to begin energizing. We expect to be done with the transmission work by Monday, so our pace of pole setting will decline. Our large industrials are online now, so our generation load is about 50% of normal for this time of year. Importantly, many Grand Bahamians are now back to work. Freeport Harbor has been partially energized as well. Stat Oil is expected to be energized by early next week. Basic public services like the landfill and the well fields are operational, although Wellfield 6 is experiencing an issue with their fuses, so they are back on their generator. Many more businesses and banks will be energized by the weekend, which again allows our island to return to something that feels more normal. With kids going back this week, schools were a focus for us. They are cleared up of downed poles and wires and other debris, and power is being restored as that work is done. 12 schools have been energized so far. Our purchasing team has been working to stay ahead of our line crew's steady progress to ensure they have the materials they need to repair and rebuild. Our supply of transformers is low, despite ordering well in advance. We were expecting 197 transformers tonight, but have just been informed that they will not sail. As long as the weather improves, 3 containers of transformers will be shipped every night going forward until the 1,200 we have already identified are delivered. While there is still a great deal of work to do, we are proud of what we have been able to accomplish in the first 21 days following the storm. One example is that, despite the 15 miles of line and the now 85 poles that needed repair heading to the east end, our transmission crews have chewed through that work at a pace surprising even to us. We'll reach Stat Oil by early next week, and because the east end didn't receive the same high winds as the west end, the amount of damage is such that we should be able to restore power to the east end by the middle of next week, including Sweetings Key, Deepwater Key, and Water Key. We just need to do an inspection of the underwater boxes, transformers, and lines between the mainland and the 2 keys. This takes us to 8 Mile Rock and another unexpected success. There was much more damage on the west end of the island than in most other areas, and we knew that it would take multiple days and crews to address. But with considerable effort, we have been able to prepare parts of 8 Mile Rock and will continue to do so that when the main distribution trunk that extends to that part of the island is restored, some customers in that area will be energized by Tuesday. We are pleased to report that by early next week, customers in all areas of Freeport and the East End will have seen crews working in their neighborhood, which should reduce the anxiety or concern that we have somehow forgotten an area. We haven't. We followed our strategy of getting the most customers on in the shortest period of time, and that has paid dividends. This is what we call the first wave of restoration. We estimated the number of days of work by feeder. We then prioritized the areas by number of customers. The crews fixed the main distribution trunk over the course of 3 to 10 days. When they energize, there are still individual customers or pockets without power because of localized damage, but the crews move on to get the next large area of customers. Now that we are near completion of the first wave, we are redeploying crews back to those areas to get individual services on. An area that has drawn a lot of calls and negative posts on Facebook is the Ridge, particularly from Inagua, Hawaii, Jamaica, Grenada, and Fiji Avenues. The sentiment has been repeatedly expressed that they are always left to the end. This is due in part to the fact that the power line runs through the back of residential lots on a very narrow right-of-way. This right-of-way has grown over, and there is a great deal of debris that needs to be removed, and multiple broken poles and lines down. Starting today, sanitation is clearing out the vegetation and preparing the area for access for our crews. If customers don't remove these fences, we will be forced to remove them, which we will do with as little damage to them as possible and set them aside. We trust that we will have the support of customers on these avenues to restore power to them by the end of the weekend. Tomorrow, we will distribute a list by area to businesses, restaurants, churches, and community groups, and ask that they post it for customers without access to the internet. We will also have all the details by area published in the Freeport News, posted on our website so you can see when your area will be energized, and we'll be posting the same information on our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter, so please look for it there as well. The decision to share our restoration plan going forward with details about areas and dates is made with some trepidation because every plan can get off track. For instance, we were waiting for those transformers to arrive yesterday, but due to delays, they won't arrive until tomorrow at best. That kind of delay means, despite our detailed work plan, crews have to be redeployed to another area where restoration work doesn't require transformers. This doesn't mean we were wrong or randomly changed our plan. It just means we can't control everything. We ask for our customers' patience as we continually adjust our plan to deal with issues outside of our control. Every customer is important in our eyes, and we are pulling out all the stops to energize safely and efficiently. I am immensely grateful, touched, proud, and astonished. Thank you all.